the eyes of the madman. And today, the subject is cancer. Cancer, my friends. Well, this is pretty beautiful out here. Something's wrong with my eye, man. I got something in it. I can't see out of one of my eyes very well. It's very beautiful out here. Now, cancer. All of my neighbors on all sides of me now, there's nobody in back of me, of course, just that big old field, woods and all that. But all of my neighbors, my neighbors on each side, not all of them, but like one per household, has had cancer. The girl beside me had some kind of brain cancer and some bone cancer shit. Now the guy across the street from me is about my age. He's got some kind of crazy bone, like throat cancer and some other areas. He's not doing too good, man. He's in radiation almost every day, chemotherapy. And his dad had cancer, and that's his dad's house that lives across the street from me. And then down the street, down a ways, another guy, he died of cancer. He had some kind of weird bone cancer and some other kind of cancers that piggyback along with it. And then my other neighbor on the other side of me, he had some kind of cancer they just discovered like last summer. And he had a little tiny like pimple thing by his nose. And they had to actually drill through his entire skull and take all that area out. So he had a hole in his head all the way through, you know, like to his brain or something. You know, it was like by his nose. I don't know what the fuck. That was crazy. And I hope to God they got it all. But the girl next door, she's not doing too good. She's not going to survive. And the guy across the street, I hate to say it, man, when you're getting chemotherapy, he's such a good guy too, a good friend. When you start getting chemotherapy fucking every day, you know, things are fucking not looking good. Fuck. See, that's why if they have the pot law in Michigan, because, you know, some states you could be like him and fucking die, and he probably won't smoke any pot or anything, but he could if he wanted to. And it's good to have that fucking choice. Because, you know, I know he's like 125 pounds, man. He's a big guy. Used to be. Really, really depressing. Disheartening. You know, and his wife, I tried to explain to her. She says, well, he works around a lot of chemicals. He's a painter. He's a union painter. He's working around a lot of lead. And so that gets me going right there, man. Lead is uranium, natural uranium-238. After it's decomposed or decayed for like millions of years, or whatever, 10 million, whatever it is, 100 million, it turns to lead. Uranium eventually turns to lead. And lead is one of the worst metals for you that there is. One of the worst metals, man. So think about that. And so I said, yeah. I think that it's from Chernobyl. It's from all the nuclear testing and nuclear waste that we just disposed of. And plus, here in the Michigan area, down by Fermi, that's downriver from Detroit, the Fermi plant. Before it was Fermi, it was still Fermi, but they had those fast breeder reactors there, and they had a goddamn accident. Look it up. And it even says that, like 1963 or 62 or something, Detroit was radiated when this thing had an accident. But back in those days, they didn't have the detectors, you know, put around all over the place that detected the radiation because there was not any. There was no reason to. And that happened, and it was a big oops. And they closed that plant down. God, my guess is the radioactive shit's still stored there. That's my guess. And that's why they built the other two Fermi plants. Water boiling reactors there on top of that site, because that's all you can do is build another fucking nuclear site on top of it. That's all you can do, nothing else. Keep people away for millions of years. But cancer, man, I explained to her that, you know, 60, 70 years ago, if a child had cancer, it was so rare that doctors would fly in from around the world to see this child with his cancer. And of course, nowadays we have whole hospitals and whole areas just dedicated to children's cancers. Forget about adult cancers. It's just off the charts. I mean, look at it. Everybody, all my neighbors, and plus the people down the street have had some sort of cancer. Fuck it, it's kind of goddamn scary. It's like I'm the only one left. Fuck, I don't even want to think about that. I have no health benefits at my job. You know, I guess if you catch cancer, you just go get the Obamacare. I guess, I don't know, man. But if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. All you can afford to do is fucking die. And as a matter of fact, out here on the island, I knew a girl had some kind of fucked up cancer in her stomach and stuff, and I don't think she made it. She wasn't very old, man. She was like 35 years old. And she didn't know she even had cancer because she had no insurance. So the first when they first found the cancer in her and told her she had the cancer, they told her to go home. There's nothing they can give her for it. They wouldn't even give her fucking painkillers, and she couldn't even walk. I went and fucking got her some pot and fucking brought her some pot, man. And I said, here, smoke this shit. It'll make you feel better at least, and give you an appetite. And but it's god awful. Now, she finally, after months and months and months, some nurse told her to go down to a hospital in Detroit where they wouldn't refuse to give her help. But by this time, she had stage 4, man. Fuck that. You know, she had no money for gas, and, you know, she just had a regular job, regular person. But that's what we face nowadays. I mean, you work, you're broke, you got no money. You work in this economy, you live in this economy, you live from hand to mouth. Then you fucking catch a fucking disease. And if you don't have benefits or any kind of insurance or money, you know, basically, you just sent home to fucking die. And that's it. That's it, man. You know, they don't give, you know, they spend over $1 trillion in Iraq to do fucking what? Nothing got accomplished. But if you look at these ads in the newspapers and on the internet, it's always talking about we need money for the soldiers that have been wounded, the wounded soldiers. And I'm thinking, fuck, they spent $1 trillion fucking on the goddamn war. Now all they had to do is put $1 towards the war and $1 towards the benefits for people that's going to get fucking fucked up in this war. I mean, you got bombs and fire and airplanes and fucking tanks and helicopters. Somebody's bound to get fucking hurt, you know? And $1 in the fund, $1 towards the war. You would have over $1 trillion in their fund right now. You could buy them all a house, a car, and they could live on Easy Street. But no, all that money went to make a lot of people that are enemies rich. And to kill people, nothing else. Just to fucking kill. And look, we spent $1 trillion in Afghanistan too. Isn't it? You know, we deserve what the fuck we get. I don't know, if all the citizens get cancer, you know, it's a shame, because some of these other people up there that make these decisions to do this bullshit, they should be getting fucking cancer, you know what I mean? They should be fucking getting it. You know what I'm talking about? Nearly all the 536 bastards, 36, that includes the Presidente, ought to be fucking sent to Fukushima and make them fucking drink the water. That's all I gotta say. Duck out.